not on the computer. I don't have I have computers, but they're unhooked, and they're like in mothballs. I hate computers. I hate all that crap. But the phone you gotta live with. I don't have a house phone. I just have this. But, yeah, I do that. So who will now?
Yeah, use your, my wife did it on the iPhone too. See what it says. I got to eat these words because they said Brooklyn was the highest on the Eastern Sea. Now, this gentleman here says Staten Island. It seems, could be right. I could be wrong.
No, Jim. Me and you clarified the highest point in Brooklyn. Brooklyn is what's exactly what you said. Sunset Park, Greenpoint Cemetery, that'll come up first.
Right, at first he said Brooklyn, and then he said the Eastern Seaboard. So I texted, I Googled highest point on the Eastern Seaboard. And then it said Todd Hill, Staten Island. And I remember 273 said Staten Island. And I was just curious. I don't mean to make anybody right or wrong, but that's what Google told me, And I just wanted to share the information, being that it was a conversation. That's it. Right, wrong, otherwise, I don't want nobody eating their words. It's an interesting conversation, that's all.
Yeah, but when they make a reference to the seaboard like that, what do they consider in the seaboard? I just simply stated it's the 5 boroughs of New York City. I can't see how they can say that 220 feet is the highest in the Eastern Seaboard when we got parts of Jersey and upstate New York on the Eastern Seaboard water as well, and 220 feet ain't jack shit.
Now, when you're comparing it to 300-something feet in Staten Island.
The 5 boroughs of New York City: Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Staten Island. 350 and 220 are kings, man. That's the bottom line.
Copy that.
Brooklyn came in second, Papi.
Well, when I did the highest point in Brooklyn, Greenpoint, Greenwood Cemetery, that hill, that came up first, Sunset Park. There was something right there, and that was supposed to be the highest point in Brooklyn. Problem is, where it was situated wasn't good enough for me. So the extra 80 feet or 90 feet that it was on GPS, as opposed to where it was situated landly, it worked for me. It was going to do what I needed it to do.
Copy that.
So what, you want to get an apartment up there by the cemetery?
Hell no, dog. I just want my shit to unfreeze, and I'm going to snatch a couple of pieces up where I was, and where I always was up there in Jersey. I'll be all right. I ain't worried about it. TikTok. Yeah, but Frank, Johnny don't remember me. I don't think he said he was out here a lot when I was on the hill. So even through the old video games, I think I might have spoke to him maybe once or twice. I'm not sure, but I sincerely remember one night up on that Utica Ave that I did talk to a guy named Appleseed, and I thought it was him.
It had to be him. He was Appleseed. When I was first introduced to him, he was Appleseed. And then he told me, hey, it's really Iron Man because my handle is what I do. Appleseed was only because of, I would say, Johnny Iron Man, the Big Apples. And then he started with the Appleseed, spreading his seed, whatever. I don't know.
Well, up there with a 80 was detrimental enough. He's really not going to like me going back there with an 82.
Listen, everybody can do whatever they want to do. And you know what? No matter who improves their audio or their system, everybody on the band is happy for them, no matter what. Even if they're an annoyance, it's because at least they're trying. They want to be the best they can be.
That's it. It's all for the love of the game, man. Never hate the player, hate the game. With me, it's all in the love of the game. It's all in keeping the hobby alive, With all the technology out here today, a lot of people ran from CB radio in the 70s and the 80s because of problems that, we knew did exist back then, if you were smart enough and you were technical enough, alleviating those problems from the door was mandatory for some, mainly me and my business. So, I never had these problems, but a lot of people, CB radio pretty much died.
Yeah, well, I got a feeling there's going to be a massive comeback soon. I mean, you see little by little people are coming back on, but we don't know who we influence as we do our daily walk. Another guy by the Salty, seen by the locker room area, taking off my antenna with, what the hell's that? You got that car? Holy shit. No, it's Vincent. I seen somebody, blah, 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 blah. They told me I was just talking to my boy. And it just so happened to be Johnny Iron Man yesterday. I was on with him. I said, hey, there's a bunch of us back out here, all a bunch of late 40s, early to mid 50s, early 60s, mid 60s. Yeah, we're all back out here. It's amazing. So it's sparking up a lot of interest.
Yeah, well, understand what I'm about to say and where I'm coming from with this. Across the water somewhere, there's a special federal agent who despises me with the utmost hatred when I say what I'm about to say. Frankie, mark my words. Radio is going to explode in the tri-state area. Real quick, real soon. Every 27th of the month, a new base station is going to be in the air transmitting. Every 27th, once I open that warehouse. Trying to tell you that it's gonna come back. And how it comes back is word of mouth as well too. Scanners help it out a lot too. It's all Frankie, the game don't stink, man. It ain't the game. It's the players. Some of the players really stink. There is a bad element using the airwave out here. I mean, guys on the Hill are trying to fight to make this illegal because they could see it as a benefit to underworld and organized crime activities. We're not going to let that happen at all. So that's the bottom line. Citizen Band is going to explode all over again. And I'm not going to lie when I say, mark my words, but I'm going to do everything in my power and utilize every spare fund I got into making that happen. The woman behind me, my other half, I can only tell you one thing. She loves my radio enough to tell you in the public, she got the radio on. She knows it won't be long before she hears her baby, and she could feel that audio vibration.
Well, funny you mentioned that, Rich, because I was thinking earlier when somebody was saying something about meeting over at Sam's and bunching them on a Sunday. I wanted to say something like, I can't wait to hear something like, yo, let's go meet in the hole in the wall, Because, Rich, I hope, for your sake and for some of our CBs out here, let your wishes be true because it's going to be good for everybody. It'd be nice to meet on a Sunday in the hole in the wall.
Oh, you're going to have bigger and better than that. Frankie, just mark my words and do your research on me. I'm as real can get. Little Richie Cappy is no joke. Why is he the family's black sheep? You got to be smart enough to do that math, man. What in God's creation could he possibly have under his belt that could make him walk away from one of the 50 richest families in New York? A predominant family, high society. We transport a little over 50% of New York City's 5 boroughs of children back and forth to school here. All right, I'll be back, man.
Yeah, 10-4, Rich. Once again. Yeah, we're meeting Sunday at the hole in the wall, Rogers.
He's going to have a lot better than that for your meets and your breaks. Mark my words.
No matter where you got it, you can have your hole in the wall in Trump Towers, and you're going to still call it the hole in the wall CV shack.
Hey, Richie, this is Jimmy. I'm jumping out of here. I'll catch you out of here tomorrow.
Hey, 10-4, Jim, 73s. Yeah, I got to get my shit together for tomorrow morning, so I'm going to jump out of here, too.
Geez, Gentleman Jim, have a good night, and please do stop in more often. You know, I was across the room doing something, but I knew by the time I get done that, you know, you'd be gone. So I wanted to jump in there. Guys, I'll be back in a minute.
11-3. Good night.
Good night, Jim. Again, nice hearing you.
Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful Saturday. Hooray, hooray, hooray. New nice special girl. Who's that? White box. Mud duck, in the truck, mud duck. Don't you know no good? No good girl. Mr. No Good, how you doing, Mr. No Good?
No good ain't no good. No good is good.
Just going right here, nigga, man, see what's going on, man. Nothing much, man. Nothing much. I am about to go hit the sack right about this 10:36, you know? Gotta wake up for 6 o'clock, punch the clock. I gotta punch that clock for 6 o'clock. Yeah, all right, man. Heard that, D. Hey, get that money. Get that kind nigga money, man. That doggone money never enough. Never enough. No matter how big the check look, it's never enough. You got that right. You got that right. Ain't never gonna be enough. At 10-4. Where's Richie? Richie went to sleep? I was just playing through the room. I heard him say he's going to do something. Yeah, he had me to be back in a minute. Alright, I'll be reading the mirror, you know. Trust me, I'm going to get me a shower right about this 10:36 and go hit the soccer. Have a wonderful weekend. If I don't hear you again, man, God bless. Right back from me and mine to you and yours, gang. Me told you. Keep on keeping on. Hold on to the weekend. Put on you later. Mr. No Good Girl.
Now, y'all both know that if I'm not within arm's length of the mic and I'm across the room for a reason, it's because I'm across the room puffing loop, and I don't want all the smoke going into the intake fans of my amps and power supplies. So I'm most likely by the window, watching the window suck all that shit out. But it's idea about 273. I know you get ready to go 10-7 there. Are you up for a 21 before you take it down or what?
Roger, look. You need to get a damn hose and stretch it through the window and put it in your mouth and blow the smoke outside. You know, one of those vacuum hose, you just get one of that and you put it to the window, close the window, and it's blowing it.
Yeah, man, I'll just use my super breath. And you're right, dude. No matter how much, it's never enough. You know why? Because that's what the enemy did in the United States. That's one of the ways the United States got heavily damaged. I'm not going to go into detail about proving how true that statement is or why that statement fits or what was done to make that a reality in the U.S. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Right now, that's other work, and I'm trying not to think about any of it. So, woo! Thank you, Mr. Obama.
Anyway, they say the more you get it is the more you want it, so I know.
Just know, the more you make, the more they take.
I told you that dump plug are going to make history for the third time. You watch.
You say what?
Yeah, you know, he just might do another executive order, being that the Republicans are going to go into a contested convention, and the Democrats are going to go contested convention. He's going to say, hey, nobody knows who the hell to vote for? I'll be president for another 2 years until they straighten it out. Yeah, we had Clinton, Nation and now Obama Nation.
Hey, yo, the best thing y'all all can do is really hope that Trump make it in office. Because if that duck plucker make it into my boss's chair, guess what? I'm leaving U.S. soil till he's gone.
Yeah, I know. You're a Hillary guy. You just can't wait for Hillary to sit in that hot seat and have Bill be the president again.
Bro, I don't care who sits in it. I know who's going to be sitting in it. I don't care who sits in it. I only care who does not sit in it. And right now, I haven't watched. I think I watched 10 minutes of one debate a couple of months ago. I'm not even keeping track of it. It's something I never ever do. You know what I mean? I got to be impartial to the whole thing because I am a presidential appointed character, or should I say, I'm a presidentially appointed dignitary, and I got to remain neutral. You know what I mean? No matter who takes that chair, that's my boss, and the only one I answer to, or the only one that can issue me an order. So, if it happens to be Trump, yeah, listen, he's only hired help. I'm here for another couple of decades. Yeah, I'm taking a long vacation.
Well, yabba dabba do, let me tell you something. Bernie Sanders comes in office, then our whole country is going to be labeled socialist because he calls himself a socialist. And we don't need socialism because socialism is on
As long as I have a job, I doesn't care who the hell is the doggone president. That's all I need to know.
The Democrats are so fucking communist that nobody can believe it. And they don't even know what the hell communism is.
Frankie, understand where I'm coming from with this Trump thing here, all right? Understand me. Now, forget any and all knowledge of the inner workings of government I might have. I'm leaving that all out of this summation right here, okay? As an outsider looking in, as a civilian who grew up in Brooklyn, New York, as a civilian that spent most of his time growing up on the Coney Island and Brighton Beach seaboard. Blood Beach was one of my favorite beaches to rock out as a rookie, bro. So, I'll have to explain to you what I'm talking about here. But I'm telling you as an outsider coming in now. This is my theory behind Trump, okay? You have to understand, all the debts he had, all the troubles that were made for him a couple of decades ago were very well planned, a strategic plan. The people that helped him, bailed him out, put him back on top, and stood behind him and financed him, all Russian organized crime and Russian politicians. Now, answer me this question, bro. 80% of all this man's property is rented by Russians. Do you think for 1 second, when push comes to shove, this knucklehead is going to put the interest of the U.S. before the people who are lining his pockets? If you think that, you got Trump fucked up in the head. That's going to be no president of the U.S. That is going to be worse than Bush, okay? And now I happen to know for a fact that there's only one president seat empty in the table of dead presidents, and that's fucking Bush Jr. So I can assure you, Trump ain't getting into office. I'm back in the cut.
Yeah, I can almost agree that there'll be no chance in hell that Trump gets in office, and if he does, and if he lasts 6 months without them assassinating him, then he was a very lucky man. But every week I'm waiting for him to say, you know what, you can go F yourselves, I just want to bring points across, and that isn't talking about what I was talking about, then go ahead, carry on. Because, Rich, 1,000% right. 80% of his money is the Russian Jews, or Russians in general, absolutely.
Hey, Frankie, Bush Jr., Frankie. The first time him and Putin got together. The first snapshot on the front pages. Read into that snapshot. Take a real close look. That's my work. That's me telling him exactly. Remember what I said? Remember what I'm suspended for? And I don't give a fuck if you are Bush Jr. Well, you see that snapshot? You see what Putin's telling him in 1,000 words with that look? We can ice you as quick as a blink of an eye. You know what you're supposed to do. And him? You see the look at him? There's nothing I can do. It's much more bigger than the U.S. That's right. It's one nation under my father, motherfucker. I'm back in my cut.
You take care of it.
That's not easy.
I have it simonized and glazed. I have it compounded and glazed and polished twice a year. Right before
before the winter and right in the spring, from all the weather. It keeps it nice.
Mr. Monkey Wrench. That's who I'm always gonna be. Tabushka Jr. Mr. Monkey Wrench.
Just so you know, that was very entertaining, truth or not, but it sounds like it's kind of true. But just so you know, here's some truth from me. I have a picture of Bush Jr. and a letter he wrote me in my living room wall, yes.
I don't even want to hear it. I've never discussed Bush Jr. with you, and that's the bottom line. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You don't possess the knowledge I do, or the inner workings. You're not in them inner circles. You don't walk them hallways. I don't want to hear it.
No. I heard what you had to say, but I just told you that. That's right. I do not know what you know. I just have wisdom from from your father. Yeah. A lot of wisdom from the book he left us. Yeah. But I'm just stating the fact that no matter what anybody says about that jerk-off, whether he's a jerk-off or not, I have a picture of him smiling, signed by him, and a letter he wrote to me, signed by him. Displayed in a nice frame in my living room wall. On my living room wall, actually.
All right. You want wisdom, dude? You really want wisdom? Okay. First of all, there's never going to be nuclear war. Never. That's number one. Number two, the Earth is never going to explode into a ball of flame because of global warming. That's number two. Number three, there are no aliens, UFOs, or any extraterrestrial life force to exist outside this Earth's atmosphere other than us. And, that's the bottom line here. You want wisdom, I gave it to you. And that's all you got to know.
Richie, I gotta say, Rogers, and those were the smartest things ever uttered out of your mouth. Although, our Heavenly Father is an extraterrestrial being. The angels that He created, that you call yourself, are extraterrestrial beings. Why? Because they're not of this earth.
But we very much are of this Earth. The problem is we're a different species of this Earth.
Richie, don't talk to me about species, okay? No. These are not... My Heavenly Father is not of this earth. Otherwise, he'd be called my earthly Father. He's from heaven above. The angels were created to minister unto him in heaven. And then after everything else, they're here to minister unto us as well, such as yourself being here with us, walking in human flesh, without wings sprouting, without flying in the air. No, we don't know what you do when we don't see you. You could be flying.
Well, now that you put it all in the proper perspective, you are 100% correct. But the way you put it out there before, it could have been way misconstrued. All right, I'll be right back.
Misconstrued to other people out there, not misconstrued to you, because you know that I know, and I know that you know that I know.
As soon as you clean your wheels, the car looks clean automatically, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. It don't look like you do when you
Yeah, I better lower my voice a little. The neighbors are starting to get a little restless.
Oh yeah, one more thing to add to the wisdom. The Russians will never own the U.S.
That goes to China. China owns the U.S.
They own just about all the U.S. commerce.
And all the pensioners. Pensioners, Dyker, Gravesend. Yeah, it used to be 8th Avenue, Chinatown. Now everywhere's Chinatown. When I leave to go to work, that's all I see is these mongoloid zombies walking all over the place. And I wonder, where do you go? Do you work? Where do you work? Do you work somewhere that caters to other people that look such as yourself? Because none of you speak English. I don't know what's going on. They can't even lift their feet. All of them have shoes on that are 2-3 sizes too big. And they scrape their freaking heels down the block all day long. That's all you hear. I wish they built that Great Wall of China to keep the freaking Chinese in there. Not to have the Mongoloids, you know, defend from the Mongoloids. They should have tried to keep their people in there. They got 2 billion people. They got 2 million soldiers. Ain't no other country on the planet that has 2 million soldiers. 200 million, because we have 2 million. 200 million soldiers. Only one country in the world has that. China.
Yo, man. First name Monkey. Second name Wrench. Straight out of the Kina clan of the Seraphim. Ain't nobody better.